Thanks for staying with us. In recent years, among our youngsters, a dazzling new trend has swept through our secondary schools. It's glamorous, it's extravagant. They call it the prom night. Luxury cars roll up to red carpets, cameras are flashing, people are wearing designer gowns, sparkle under the lights. For some, it's a rite of passage, a celebration of hard work and youthful dreams. For others, it's a worrying display of excess privilege and social pressure. Now, what are your thoughts? Because the culture of prom is not just local, it's international. I mean, many across the world, many people have been going to prom for decades. And obviously, even this problem of the opulence has actually changed, has progressed, I would say, in the sense that across the world, we've seen prom nights go from regular father dropping the daughter to them renting a limousine and getting a whole carriage, convoy. Some go with their carriage, with the horse carriage. They get all creative. So we see the trend is fast coming to Nigeria, where not just the creativity is being displayed, but the opulence, the extravagance is being displayed in different levels. What are your thoughts on this exactly? Because we are thinking, is this about pride, or is this about just following a trend? You can join the conversation 020-163-52013, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your messages. I remember my own prom night. I mean, it was a big night. I think I was 16. I wore a black dress. I think I still have the picture. My date was a guy called Sean. And he got a limousine, picked me up at my house. I think it was 7 p.m. or something. You know, my brother told him, get her back by 11, you know, and it was clear. But he was very respectful. And I mean, of course, there was a lot of plans of kissing. You know, everybody wanted to have their first kiss that night, you know. So they put in the missile, you know, I didn't have you know, I was still in my transitioning moment. I was still trying to understand my surroundings. So that night, you could hear, but there were plans. I heard about plans of people trying to be this virgin that night, do stuff. Everybody was just having their corners. So there was a lot of excitement on where you're going to stay, whose house are you going to, how you're going to plan it. Me, I didn't have that kind of planning, but I was just watching. So it's not today. The point I'm trying to make is that this thing we're seeing is not today. But of course, because we grab cultures from different parts of the world, somehow we've taken to the point where even our children here, when the prom night is not just about the clothes, they have plans afterwards. So let's start with what we see. What are your thoughts on the fact that it's not just me? For me, I'm going beyond the dressing and the clothes and the cars. Is the fact that these kids, they've gone haywire. So let me hear your thoughts on this new culture of prom that has crept into our system and is eating deep into, especially the private schools, I would say.
Yeah.
Who would like to jump in first?
Okay.
What are your thoughts, Nima?
I thought she was going because her daughter just.
Yeah, I just did.
prompt.
Okay,
That's
so
true. Did you just?
Yes, we just did. We just.
I had the
finished our
prom?
Yeah, but we really fought. We quarreled plenty times. We talked about the dress and everything. But the truth is that, first of all, let me say, you know, we copy all of these cultures, but we don't copy very well. When we copy, you know, we just copy a little. And luckily for us, she was in boarding school, so we had to take her to school, and then they're going to spend the night. So there was nothing like cars, you know, dropping, all those other stuff that they do. So first of all, the dressing. We had a fight concerning what she wanted to wear. First of all, she came up, she said she wanted to wear a certain color, and, you know, the style was going to be open body and everything. I said, no, we can't do open body. She said, but this person is doing open body, this person is doing. I said, I am not. This is, Ramatu is a different mother. She's not like all the other mothers. The other mothers, if they are okay with their child, it's fine. But me, we're not going to do that. So we had that. We finished with that one. Last, we got a dress that was going to cover up, but look elegant and nice. No slits. We said that we slit again. She said she wanted the slit to stop. I said, no slits. Just make sure that the dress is, you know, free so that you'll be able to move around freely. And we finished with that one. We started with nails. She brought nails. She said she wanted to do long nails. I said, nails, Islamically, it's not even allowed in the first place. But because it's your prom, because I promised her a long time ago, I said, your prom, you're going to do anything you like. So she brought the nails, it was too long. I said, no, we have to do at a certain length. I brought it short to a very short length. She said, no. I said, no, we are going to do that. That is what we are going to do. And at the end of the day, she didn't get that. She did what I wanted her to do, and she started keeping malice with me. She refused to talk to me, and I told her that, no, you must talk. I made sure that she, you know, when she's going out and she doesn't say anything, I'll come out. Say, come, you've not said anything to me. You must say something to me. If not, this prom, you won't even go for it at all. I'll just cancel it. But their prom was very simple. Yeah. It was nice. It was not, yeah, you know, you just give them room to exhibit one or two of their stuff. But it was well organized. There was nobody that went overboard. There was nothing at all of that sort. So, yeah, but when I see these videos, these ones are just.
But the truth is that the pressure, I mean, I'm not sure if our directors will be able to, our producers are going to show the video, but the pressure is real, Mariam. Like the kids, you almost sometimes feel bad for them because they feel like, oh my God, mommy, please, I need this day. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay,
this
so,
culture?
you know, there are two things. There's the extravagant show of wealth, that's on the one hand, but then you were also talking about some of the plans the children had themselves, like what they were going to use that prom day to do. And some of them were not very nice, not very helpful. And then, you know, while you were saying, I was just thinking back when I was in secondary school, what the thoughts were for us when we were approaching graduation from secondary school. We didn't have prom. We just had that final speech and prize giving day. I hope I'm remembering correctly. I don't think there was anything like a prom. Yes, eventually people would have like private parties where they had friends, they would go. That's after school. And one of the things we were looking forward to was putting relaxers on our hair. Like, can you imagine? Like that was the, I'm telling you, like for us, that was the height. Like, put relaxers on our hair and do the hair. But then the conversation of kissing, I have to be honest with you, it came up. So it's a natural thing. We would sit there as girls, because we went to an all-girls school. Many people were like, they're going to have a boyfriend. They're going to do the they're going to do the kissing. It was like, now finally I can do what I want to do. So that when I get to university, I'm going to. Yeah. So these are conversations that young people have. So let's not make it as if it's just now. The only thing I would say is, because we have been through it, let's make it... let's realize that this happens and have a conversation with our children as they prepare for the next stage of their lives. Let's know that we were there once. We remember what the craze was about and have the conversations with them on how to be an adult safely, and, you know, just talk to them more about sex education. Because, to be honest with you, some people got pregnant while we were in school. Some people got HIV. You know, there's so many things because of that that tradition of not even talking about it. The fact that you even talk about it or think about it, then you are a horrible person. So you talk to your friends who didn't know any better, or you talk to adults that did not want your best interest. So now that, you know, you mentioned, I was like, these are conversations I must now have, must make sure I'm deliberate about having with those who feel like this is now the rite of passage to now do anything and everything. So that was on one side. And now about this show of whatever. You see, a part of me thinks it's too much, right? But then my daughter's graduation, her school, I thought it was just too... Yes. I didn't know, I was not happy like that. It was not. It was just, I just felt like a little bit more celebratory. But what they did, they celebrated those who did well academically. Her father thought it was the best he has ever been to. And he thought that that's very important, that is what he should push. And I agree. But I just thought he should have had a little bit more flair. But, you know, it's not, yes, but, and to be honest, sitting back and thinking about it, I think the way they did it was the best, really. Because he said it's primary school going on secondary school. What exactly do you want? What's important? They should know that where they're headed is about education, you know. It's not about just throwing, So for me, now, with the wisdom from my husband and just looking at things, I think we should really pipe down on that show of, you know, that's just show of wealth. Because what really are we teaching our children that is important in this world? What should they really be aiming for? Because it seems as if...
Nima, what are your own thoughts on this?
Just because that video has played,
because
it's what I saw in that video that is still disturbing my head. There's no way. There's no way. I don't think I will even evolve to when I would understand that my son has to, get a big car, arrive with pomp and pageantry because it's school. Refuse to teach children to own their own identity, love themselves, the right values. You will see the confidence and arrogance the child did not grow into, but had to learn it to show up at a secondary school graduation called prom. It was a graduation party. Leave it as graduation party. We pick and choose. And when we go to certain countries and see that they don't pick it, I wonder, is there a cane behind us telling us that anything westernized is the only way to think? I can't understand it. I think that these are times that, cultural identity should be highlighted. If somebody can sit down, since schools must do this, and design something that can represent us, can copy it and look like us, I would love that. But you see this copycat, the perfect copy is annoying. And schools do it. Right. This is even the simplest we've seen. There was one. The parents would not have spent anything less than $1 million on any of the girls' dresses.
$1 million is cheap.
It's cheap, Abby. Thank you. And the designers of designers the girls were flaunting labels.
Can you even blame these people? Because what they are wearing, the dresses I see are things I see at AMVCA.
Yes.
I see these are the kids are watching all these celebrities wear all this couture, and they want to replicate it.
No, they're not meant to. Kids.
But those
Thank you.
So who is to blame? Is it the parents or is it the kids who are aspiring to do?
Let's assume that they got into school at the ages they ought to get into school. 10 years, 11 years. They can't be 18 in this video.
Yeah, 15, 16.
So their parents consented to all of this. There's no way you want to explain it to me.
They paid for it.
The school would have organized and said this is the standard, and at PTA meeting nobody said no. This will be teaching the children extravagance, teaching some form of arrogance, and there will be some of, can we do it in a way that the children will imbibe values? This is our own school standard. Can we teach it such that, can we hold a graduation party for them such that values is what they will take home? As opposed to this, because the girls were all made up. I particularly appreciated Ramatu's daughter when she came for her makeup for prom. Now she corrects the mama and the makeup artist that this is too loud for her face. And the makeup artist kept proving her wrong and right. It took time to tell her how she's okay. The poor girl, until they went to clean up everything on her face and make it look just powder. She didn't want to leave. She looked sad until they did that. So imagine children knowing better than adults.
But she's also the one that wanted very long nails. It's a balance.
Conversation. My mom was the one telling me. But I'm just saying, we are adults, we are the parents.
Yes.
Our children should know better.
So I want us to take this in layer by layer.
Okay.
Let's start first from the school. What is the role of the school in planning a prom? Should there be certain guidelines?
Yes,
because a school will tell me, the school will tell the parents, sorry, you cannot wear this or you cannot wear that. And the parents say, sorry, you have no rights. You can afford to bring a limousine. We can afford to use our Mercedes. We can afford to make so you cannot tell us it's our last day. Because I've been in a few meetings with the parents.
Yeah.
If they give it to them, let the children enjoy. It's the only time they have,
Yes.
So they're arguing. So my question is, let's start with the school. What role should the school play in these kinds of things?
Can I?
Go ahead.
The school for me is the final say on how any event is carried out in their school. That community, they're the head of that community, the school community. They house all kinds of parents, different kinds of parents from different backgrounds, social, economic, religious, and they have to put all these differences into consideration. So they are the only ones at the end that can say, this is what we think will work best for this community, that would reflect, at least to a certain degree, everybody's preferences and, preferences. Because I have seen, conversations that have happened concerning prom, where some parents want to just give everything, go spend anything, but you have parents that may not be able to afford it. And you don't want them to bring their children to that same community and they're feeling left out or feeling like they haven't done enough for their children. So I respect schools, no matter how, as a parent, you feel aggrieved, that understand, see, you're one person in this group and we need to consider everyone else. Concerning the dressing as well, the school is in a community, in a country that is quite conservative. And if there are some schools that are also like maybe Christian schools or Muslim schools, so those guidelines also is implemented in how they dress, they speak and carry themselves. So if it goes out of that particular guideline or guideline for them, the school has the right to say, we're not doing this. So for me, when I see videos like this, it is it shows that the school consented to it. In fact, that the school gave the guidelines to say, these are the sort of things that we would like to see.
Yeah.
But
they seem to have lined up even the juniors to welcome
come and
them.
watch and welcome them. Yes.
So let me take this call from Jake. I'll come to you, Nima. Jake, thanks for calling your line. Hello, Jake.
Hello, how are you?
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I'm Kay from Abuja. I just saw the program, the topic you're discussing about the opulence, teen opulence, prom night, and the pride.
Yes.
And to my mind, I just want to say something. The problem we have in the society is that of bad parenting. Most of the parents that we have now are so terrible that they allow their words to do whatever they want to do. And schools, because the proprietors just want to make money, they will consent to whatever they are doing. If I own a school, for instance, I will have my rules. It's either you take it or you take a walk. I used to be a PTA chairman in a school for 6 years when my words were there. And we had our rules. When somebody came that, okay, she is a major general, whatever have you, I gladly told the man, please tell your daughter and take a walk from the school. These students that are doing this one now, just because they are finishing secondary school, what would they do if they earn a PhD? They are not even sure that when they get to the university, they can hold it. So I think parents should just learn to teach their children to be able to live a better adult life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kay. We're going to very short. When I come back, I'll start with Nima. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so before the break, we're talking about the various layers. We started with the school, and Mariam was telling us exactly the role of the school. Nima, you're going to jump in.
Mariam said she wanted to finish.
No, just go ahead.
So for me, Mariam hits the nail on the head. The schools, for me, are just setting up parents. They're giving us the opportunity to either show that we have family values or that we are open to any value that's our mops. So whatever standards they put out there, we mop it up. Ordinarily, your child should be taught empathy, being grounded and all of that, right values of thought and everything. But when you do a prom that you need to show off, and for instance, some parents in some schools take ordinary birthday parties to pepper the next person. In my son's school, my daughter's school even has an orphanage quota in their school. So whatever you people are saying, those students come to school, the same school bus picks them, goes to Ikeja, picks those children to her school. So she mixes with them just to give them, that the world view, that is not about, the affluent alone. In my son's school, we don't do birthday parties. You are not allowed to bring them cake. I see the schools in my own neighborhood. My children cannot attend any school in my immediate neighborhood.
Why?
One parent will not carry box. I was like, they were doing a 4-year-old's party. If you see the gift pack was statement, the mother was sweating from head to toe. She even sat down, they draw eyebrow all the way to here. I was like, what's the proprietor saying? She now said, she was not coming in the evening. I was like, what a day. Where have you been? Say, I've been in my daughter's school. Today is her birthday. I said, is it your birthday? If you see the dress, the poor little girl had to drag the tail. They placed the girl hair, they draw the hair, the scalp, everything was too tight. I said, these are children. Who stole your own child? Do you like this? That you had to do all of this. And other parents in the school, immediately, 2 at least, fell for it. No. Once when she comes home, come and go shram. What's that?
Did she call a name now?
What's that? We can't, schools must, if schools fail to understand, that's the role of PTA. Thanks to that last caller. But if the schools do not understand, I will single out my own child from that crowd. In our school now, they are owing me at least 3 or 4 years of closing graduation parties. My child is not graduating. You have deducted the money from school fees. You have compelled us to pay. We have paid. He's not graduating. I will leave my house on the day of graduation. Just come and sit in a crowd of people from morning till 6 p.m. because somebody else is graduating. When it's final year, we will do our own. Come out.
Let me take Husseini from Jos. Good morning, Husseini. You're live.
Yes, Morayo. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You see, some things that some of the schools today are doing, in fact, there is no moral. And when you look at all these things, you ask yourself,
Mm.
'Where is it heading to?' 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 'Where is it he Are they channeled towards building the morals of these children? Is it channeled towards bringing any success in the life of these children, or is trying to demoralize them or send them into the wrong direction? People are watching this. And one thing with this country is that when other schools now, they see it and they will start copying all these things.
Yeah, sure.
In fact, Ministry of Education I think it's time for them to begin to watch some of the activities that some of these schools
so
are
right.
doing.
The Ministry of
Because
Education.
all these things is on the media space, and children are watching it.
That is so
It's
true.
really quite embarrassing. It's not helpful. Children of this age, by the time they go into higher institutions, we are training them in this manner. Tomorrow, will your child or your daughter go up?
You know, I don't know.
right.
I hear the
I
Ministry of
don't
Education.
have it.
I'm not sure I totally agree. Because I don't think we need the Ministry of Education to know something as basic as this. I mean, the ministry is supposed to be government to regulate. There's some certain things that you don't need, you just need common sense. Because sometimes I look at our world and our country and I say, sometimes as Nigerians, we are totally blinded. Because we copy things from places where they have that basic amenities. You know, somebody is planning an Oscar Awards. They live in a country where they have electricity, they have boiling water, they have running water, they have roads, they have schools, they have good healthcare. They have no problem. So guess what? They can say, I want to wear a house on my head as a hat because they have, I'm making a point. The point is that sometimes we don't wake up and smell the coffee because we think someone is going to want Messiah. Is coming to fix Nigeria. There's no Messiah, Nima. We as Nigerians, the only way we can fix our problem is when we realize, hello, we are in a very poor country. And when you start making money as a person, the next thing is not for you to go and give your daughter 1 million or 2 million to go and buy a dress. Because you are thinking, I told you the other day that I was planning on doing some things for my body. I said, if I don't have that 5 million naira that is not doing anything, because I have work to do. So we see the thing, but as a human being that lives in Nigeria, if you're observant, prioritize what we need to do as a nation. That's why sometimes I like to talk about
it's a
China.
selfish one.
But you see,
I have arrived. Where I have the money is because Miriam don't have the money. That's why she's hating on me. That's how I will see it. But the Ministry of Education will regulate the businessmen who own schools.
We don't need a ministry to do that, Nima. I disagree.
They are educationists who own schools. The business of education is what they are derailing from. It is the business of the ministry to ensure that they are in line with what education conforms with. All those businessmen who own school, they are profit makers. They see when they create these trends, you know how much money go trickle down in the trickle down. They might be the ones suggesting tailors because you know this one they have snatched her. See, when the ministry says in our schools, just as we do in our movies, a lot of the movies and music that appeal to the worlds that you say they have light, everything. Even when we have light, should not appeal here because it's not our culture. Even when we have all the amenities that you just mentioned, it is not our way. Our regulatory authorities must regulate them just the way we regulate out those standards of things so that our kids grow in a certain way. They must regulate this trend. This is trend. This is TikTok that is guiding all of us.
So our cultural values is going down. You can't compare the things that they do abroad and compare it with the ones here because we already have a culture. We are not supposed to be leaving our body open, doing all this kind of dressing and all. But now we find ourselves doing it, and there's a lot of pressure on the parents.
They beat us.
So, but the pressure is on
There's
the
no
parents.
pressure.
Do you understand?
You want to do.
So the truth is that this school is the only one that can regulate because all parents, if you see what parents want to do, parenting is different. The way I want to bring up my daughter is different from the way you want to bring up your own daughter. It's different from the way you want to. So everybody has different ways. So it's the school that is responsible to make sure that, okay, their rules and regulations are being followed. There's a school close to my house, an expensive school. When it was time for their prom, they did everything classy. How did they do it? They made sure that they got a car. There was a Prado Jeep. That was when they were bringing their kids. They brought out what they are supposed to wear, the kind of dressing that they should cover this, make sure that your dress is this, and the color. You understand? No slits, nothing. This is what we want. This is the kind of hairstyle we want. Bring them in. We are going to do their makeup for them. So as they were coming, they brought in Prado, but before they came in, they selected their partners and everything. So as you are coming, when your partner is here, you wait. The Prado Jeep will come, carry you in, do the red carpet events, everything, and then you go in. That was how they did. They made sure that they took charge of everything. Leaving parents. Have you been on parents' WhatsApp group? Do you see the argument that happens there?
As in kids doing frontal.
You see the argument that happens there when the school, between the school and parents, everybody wants to be heard.
So,
every parent
I was
wants
going
to be
to say
heard.
about the Ministry of Education, and I think that our caller made a point with that. And I get where you're coming from when you say it's common sense. But in a situation where common sense has taken flight, then you need the government to come and instill it. But the problem we will have right now is the Ministry of Education doesn't even know where we're headed. Does it understand? Is there a vision for how we want our schools to carry themselves, conduct themselves, and how the children in those schools should conduct themselves? The reason why I think the Ministry of Education should come in is that when it looks like it's getting out of hand, when the show of wealth is looking like it's getting out of hand, it's okay for a school, the Ministry of Education, to come in and make sure that at least some basic things are being followed. Or else we'll just allow schools to come up with different things. And before long, what we'll see, this will be nothing compared to what, schools will be able to get away with. We have, what we're discussing, we say, is the school that determines in the end how parents and students should carry themselves. But when the schools themselves have lost the vision, and if the schools feel that their vision is about making money, let's see how we can cater to all these needs, and all the money we need to make, they would not pay attention to the values that are important. So but finally, we need to understand as a country what our vision is for our children in school. When they're leaving school, what do we want them to leave? I was asking earlier before we started the show how they do it in China. And the reason why I'm talking about China is that, we had the privilege of going there. And there's so many things I noticed. I noticed that these people are very jealous of their own culture, jealous of their language, jealous of their money. They're proud of it, and they do everything to preserve it. That's how I see them. In our own country, we think our values, our culture, our money, whatever it is inferior to the West. In China, they think differently. Everything that they have, they want to guard it and protect it. And for me, I saw a lot of good in that. I met a couple of people on the train, and they were asking me, do you have TikTok? Then they said, oh, yours is international TikTok. It's not China TikTok. We are not on international TikTok. No Chinese person is on international TikTok. The ones that we are on, the social media that we're on, that we're complaining of all sorts of things that's happening, they say they are not on that. Their country is still protecting their people. Some of us will see it as gagging, but I'm seeing how it's helping these people. It's helping them in how they carry themselves. The technological advancements that they have, would think that because they are being protected, nothing good happens in their country. But there are so many things that they are doing way better than the West because they have preserved their culture and their values. We
have to wrap up because we have our guest coming up very soon. But I think the point I was trying to make earlier is that, you see, there's some data that I wish I had with me. In schools, teachers are looking, universities are looking for teachers, professors. We don't have enough teachers. Even schools, primary schools are looking for qualified teachers. Most of our youngsters going to university, all of them want to do mass comm. They want to be Mariam Longet, they want to be Mariam, they want to be a TV presenter, they want to speak. 99, like when they all graduate, the pressure to accept or absorb someone from mass communication is huge because every school has thousands. Nobody's going into law as much as before. Doctor, we don't have a lot of people doing all those serious core subjects that would help build this nation. Even education. Kids don't pick those subjects anymore. Because the truth is that we don't have that proper guidance. Parents are not focusing on the important things. It is the irrelevant things like prom night, dress, luxury, do your hair. That is your focus. When your real focus really is how do we prepare these millions of young people to fix Nigeria, to prepare them to educate them, to get their minds programmed for this nation. That's not our business, because that's what they did in China. From birth, from childhood, the children, even the parents know that I'm grooming this child to fix to China. Our own parenting, our own brains doesn't tell us that. The only thing of prom
we are raising our children so that they can be Americans.
God bless you. We're exporting these children to go to China. We're exporting them to go to America. We're just exporting these children. Where are we going to fix this nation? So parents are focusing on this kind of silly things, and it's so annoying. It is annoying. It's heart-wrenching. to see things like this, because we as a, and that's why we keep pointing. That's why I don't want to also focus on ministry, because Nigerians are used to pointing fingers, forgetting that the fall at us. We as a people, it's easy to say Ministry of Education, but no, we have responsibilities too.
So our languages were also fading away until the Lagos State House of Assembly thought it wise that there's no business, there's no way Yoruba language will fade away in a state like Lagos. Lagos is the most cosmopolitan, what's the word?
Yeah.
State. And they did something about it. My kids are compelled to learn Yoruba in school. They speak it at home, everybody is joking with this, but now they speak Yoruba the way we learned it. I had A1 in Yoruba language in my YEC. They compelled each person to learn it. They do their house assembly business in language. That's what regulation can do. That influence has trickled down a lot of ways. People are now confidently speaking their language. When we were growing up, it was vernacular. It was ashamed. Some families were ashamed to speak it in their homes. It until a state said, this is our language, it is our heritage. Before some parents now, you see some people, children can understand, cannot understand. That's what regulation can do.
Our guest is waiting. Let me just wrap this up so that we can bring in our guest. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, our guest will join us. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.